Alright, time for a semi-finals match of this month's MSEM GP. Playing against Kayiu, who is on black-white mid-range. This should be a reasonably good matchup for me because, I'm a ramp deck facing against a mid-range deck that doesn't have too much ways to interact with my lands. But this matchup could still go pretty wrong if I just get bad draws, or like if my opponent slams a big thing and I can't answer it and I don't have a win, or if my ramp gets disrupted and I can't ramp up into a win. Anyways, they don't have enchantment destruction, do they? I think this is keepable. It has Rubadia, it has on my ramp top end, and it has 2 Primal Resurgences. So even if they hand attack me, I can still land a Primal Resurgence on turn 1. And they are on the play because they have better seeding, or they have a higher seed than I do, right? Yeah, they are on the play. And I guess with this hand, I'm hoping to find some way of getting extra land. So Verdant Sanctuary would be a good top deck. Wait, do I have higher seed? Let me check. Oh yeah, I guess I do. Alright, sure. I guess that means I get to do turn 1 Primal Resurgence, and there's nothing my opponent can do about it. Not like they really had anything they could do about it either, because I had 2 copies of it, but there's even less they can do about it now. If I don't top deck a land next turn, I will use Earthly Divination to look for lands. Okay, they're just going to Valdez me. Valdez low. I discard my extra Primal Resurgence, which I'm pretty happy doing because I don't really need the second one right now. And yeah, best possible draw here would be something like Verdant Sanctuary. Verdant Sanctuary would be nice because that lines up pretty nicely for Drubadia next turn. Failing that, I would like to top deck a land so that I am hitting on my land drops. Okay, well, that is inconvenient, but could be worse. At least I have Earthly to dig for a land on this turn. Oh, this is not the land I needed. That's also really awkward. I could take Verdant Sanctuary but then I'm missing a land drop for a turn. I need to take a land here, but this is not the land I need right now. If I take Verdant Sanctuary, is that a losing play? If I take Verdant Sanctuary, they're incentivized to hand attack me. What happens if that happens? Yeah, I think I'm really incentivized to just get lands into play. So this leaves me open to top decking an RFE, which would be nice. Top decking a red source would be nice because then I can Alexa Minus to get a land play for next turn. If they Curse of the Drow me, I can discard these 2 cards, and I don't feel too bad about doing that. Going into turn 3 without ramping really hard, though, is a problem because that means once they drop their 3-drop, once they play out their really important 3-drop, I won't have any good way to contest it. If I actually did ramp really hard in the previous turns, okay, they're just going to draw cards, that's fine. If I did ramp hard in the previous turns, then at least I can... At least I'm ahead on lands when I try to contest their 3-drop. So yeah, best possible top deck would be something like a red source. Just putting out Drubadia isn't good. Oh, that's really inconvenient. I have to play it out here, but if I took Verdant Sanctuary instead of the land, I guess so I miss a land drop, and then this turn I play out Verdant Sanctuary, play out my mountain, and then feel pretty bad about myself because I'm behind on lands. But if they drop Auric Soldier and I don't have a way to contest it, then the game suddenly becomes a lot harder. It's also sort of on me for Performative Ambition is also not good, but could be. Okay, there we go. There's the red source I needed. Okay, so this is fetching red source. I think I run out Pale Weaver Alexa first, and then try to set up for Drubadia next turn. Can I do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7. I need another land if I want to do that. Do I have any alternatives I can go with? I could try to Earthly Divination into Miracle. So basically, Alexa, okay, or Mystic Counteract, Alexa minus Earthly Divination. I can hit a 2-drop that way, which isn't that good. Okay, what's my other option? Drubadia and nothing else. Then it just gets killed, and that for no good reason. I can try to ramp into Time of Tributes, but I don't think I have enough gas to do that. So I guess I need to just do Petal Weaver minus to get a land play for next turn, and then hope they attack into... I pitch Time of Tributes, and I hope they don't discard me, because if they flip Performer, I don't really have an answer for that right now. Well, no, they can't. They can't up. They can't attack flip this thing. This thing flips on upkeep now. Okay, yeah. Then I guess the Alexa plan is probably the best plan here. I mean, Earthly also means that if I Earthly, I have like these 2 cards left in hand. I play out Earthly, I have these 2 cards left in hand. I probably pitch Alexa. I guess it's technically higher upside because I could possibly flip a really good. I could probably I could flip Verdant Sanctuary, in which case then that's a lot better than the other options. And then I'm hoping to top deck a land with Drubadia. Okay, I guess I'll go for that. But not looking great for me right now. But could be worse, I guess. So pitch Tyrant, pick up Earthly Divination, try to hit something useful off this. Well, I mean I did flip Verdant Sanctuary, so that's good. Do I grab that? It means that I don't have Drubadia up for next turn. Or I mean I do. So I Drubadia, play out the land, activate Drubadia, and then get 1 more land play, and that kills Performer. Yeah, then I should always grab Verdant Sanctuary here. Alright, not great, but could be worse. So that leaves me empty-handed. If they hand attack Drubadia, it's also really bad. Okay, I need to discard 1 card. So then that leaves me empty-handed, but I have decent top decks. They might actually want to try to, they could just pit build the Verdant Sanctuary and then I'm screwed really hard still. Or they could just discard my last card in hand, which would also screw me over really hard. Okay, they're just going to do that. But at least having Verdant Sanctuary out means that I can always have land plays. Unless they're blowing that up too. Okay, yeah, they just have everything lined up here. Alright, so now I'm looking at top decking something useful. Best possible top deck right now would be, I mean, Recall Forgotten Aeons would be good, decent. Some sort of Field Tender is actually not that bad. Okay, so this guy flips, but Field Tender makes a bunch of jump blockers, so at least that helps me there. Field Tender is probably one of the better things I could have top decked right now. Well, actually, do I want to fetch Lumbering Hillock? Yeah, let's fetch Lumbering Hillock. Because I have nothing else to do with my mana, and I might as well get a land out of the deal. Or get a Lumbering Hillock out of the deal, so that in the future it's less bad for me. But with Performer out, I'm not sure how I can win here. Because they can just gain a million life, and that actually turns off... that prevents me from winning by attacking them with enough lands. Because once I get enough life... Because the amount of damage I can do with Drubadia alt is actually very limited. I suppose the Time of Tributes could probably get there eventually. Okay, they are just going to swing with that. I will block there. And I guess they could blow up Field Tender in response to me cracking this, but wait, they totally could do that. Do I want to play around that? Yeah, sure, let's play around that. Rova is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, perfect. Well, it means I didn't fetch Lumbering Hillock, but I guess that's fine. So topping out for Rova means that so they just removed this thing though, which is a problem. But at least so I have to keep chumping, which is also annoying. I mean, these guys can't attack anyway, so I get to swing with these 2 guys. That's not horrible. Actually, do I need to do big Rova this turn? I could do small Rova. Small Rova means that I can still crack this for a Lumbering Hillock later on. And I don't lose as hard because I don't have anything to do with my mana anyways, so... I mean, it's a difference of big Rova forces them to have removal or die very quickly, or at least leave back Urchin King. Small Rova doesn't guarantee that, but it also means I can fetch Lumbering Hillock this turn without feeling that bad about myself. But if they kill Rova, right, I guess I'll just see if they want to use removal on Field Tender. Oh, they are. Okay, cool. I guess if they have another removal spell, then that's really bad for me. But I guess that's what I have to live with now. Okay, yeah, that's fetching other red source. And I have to roll with this turn, right? Otherwise, Urchin King goes nuts. Yeah, and then so I'm just not fetching Lumbering Hillock then, which is unfortunate, but whatever. I can technically still get there if I just get Karakran, or if I get a big enough Karakran. I need to chump Urchin King with Peasant unless they remove it, which is really bad for me. It's really bad for me if they remove it. So I hope they don't have removal here. Have Tributes is in Graveyard, but it is possible for me to top deck. What are my best possible top decks? Karakran probably, because Karakran works me towards... Do they have a second removal spell that hits Rova? No, they have Soul Weaver. Okay, that's significantly less bad for me. The problem right now is that I can't really afford to attack with Rova because Urchin King's out there. Best possible top deck right now would actually be RFE, because that draws me cards, and then a Rova swing means that I can cast backside too. Let's see if they want to gain the life now so that they don't die to a million lands later on. Okay, nope. Please. Oh, well, I guess that. Yeah, I mean, I can't complain too much about top decking RFE. They trigger a Soul Weaver at instant speed. They have Spiraling Hatred, which... Okay, so they have Spiraling... Their only play right now at instant speed is Spiraling Hatred, I think, which doesn't actually kill Rova, but like they could just play it to exile Recall Forgotten Aeon at instant speed. I mean, either ways, I need to play it now. So play RFE, draw 2 cards, second Rova, and Mysterious Cataract. I can actually discard... Yeah, I can discard to get second Rova out, and then that at least guarantees I don't die to if they exile RFE with Soul Reaver. If I play this untap, I get access to how much? I get access to 8 mana, so I could possibly play whatever 1-drop I draw off RFE. I don't think that's worth it, so yeah, I'll just do discard Rova, play this tapped. Let's see if they let me attack. They do let me attack, I swing, this happens, I untap all my lands. Let's see if they block this. So again, like they have the heads up play of just exiling my RFE by doing Spiraling Hatred for no effect. They're not going to do that, so I'm fine with that outcome. I will RFE from graveyard, draw 2 Earthbreaker Behemoth for next turn to kill Auric Soul Weaver, and this will be fetching Lumbering Hillock. And yeah, look, the board looks pretty good, but I have to chump away my RFE for Urchin King. It doesn't look as good as it should be. I mean, like they could just remove my RFE with one of their smaller removal spells, and then like Pithbolt, and then that forces a chump with the Rova token onto Urchin King, and then they can, I guess, sack. They could just like play out Valdez, sack Valdez, gain 18 life, and that prevents Rova from killing on the crackback. They can also just double discard me. I mean, if they spend this turn double discarding me, Soul Weaver gets 2 triggers. They probably just exile one by. They exile something from a graveyard, or they play a counter somewhere, exile something from a graveyard. I don't think exiling from graveyard actually does much right now, so maybe they gain life, or maybe it's probably just counter plus drain. And they haven't played a land this turn, so once they get to 5 lands, they can get down Fight for Succession, or the backside Fight for Succession, which will eventually win the game. Oh no, the problem is that it makes tokens, which then chump blocks the Rova attacks. And as long as Urchin King is in play, like that thing can gain 18 life in a turn. I have no good ways of removing it, so it's going to abyss me every turn and possibly gain them a million life, which prevents me from killing them with my lands. The funny thing right now is that Earthly Divination has enough devotion to flip a Time of Tributes if it wasn't in my graveyard right now. They're probably doing something right now. I think if they're just drawing cards and throwing around Auric Soul Weaver triggers. Drain, counter off RFE, sure. I'm going to be chumping away the RFE anyway, so I'm not sure why they're focused on getting counters onto it. Unless they're not playing on attacking with Urchin King, which could make sense because they want to prevent Rova from killing them next turn. I actually don't need to attack with Rova to get I just need to attack with a counter with Horus to get the Rova triggers, which I can do just by attacking with RFE. Not sure if it's worth it, but I mean, as long as they keep this thing back, I can't really attack into it. I can't Earthbreaker or Weak Soul Weaver, which forces the Urchin sack. So Earthbreaker actually isn't that good because that means if I'm going to Earthbreak anything, I should do it post combat. Okay, they're going to draw more cards. Sure. Drain, draw. Oh, that's actually quite dangerous. They're going down to 2. I mean, I suppose Urchin King can always just gain them a million life, so it doesn't really change anything. And they probably have a land, so they probably have Spiraling Hatred up, or they're planning on discarding me after this. If they discard me, I guess they probably discard Earthbreaker. Or if they have Spiraling Hatred, then they hatred my. Okay, they're just going to discard me. Well, I mean, they've taken down one way of me killing Auric Soul Weaver. Drain. If they Valdez low, then I do get to resolve Earthbreaker next turn, but they know about Earthbreaker, so they might not block with, or something like, naming high. Okay, yeah, they managed to snag my Earthbreaker. I still have one way of killing this, which is Drubadia, but I mean, I still have some number of Drubadias left in the deck. Okay, they are going to attack, which then forces me to chump with my RFE, which I don't appreciate, but has to happen here. And they're going to sack Soul Weaver to gain life. Okay. I'm at 7 lands actually. With this right sequence of draws, I could actually get a Karakran turn. If that happens, then Rova plus or Karakran plus 2 Rovas will kill them. So I guess I hope to get a sequence of draws that allows me to do that. Verdant Sanctuary is not ideal. Okay, so like Earthly Divination already hits absolutely everything. I guess except second Rova. No, I already have okay, so Earthly Divination will hit everything. Best possible top deck would be, or best possible hits off Earthly Divination. Well, I need more creatures basically. Second Field Tender would be pretty nice because then it puts down more chump blockers for Urchin King. Pale Weaver will let me get back Drubadia, or Pale Weaver lets me get back Time of Tributes, which then I can play at exactly. Okay, yeah, so there's like a lot of good things I could grab with Earthly, so I guess I hope for good things to hit off the top, and I completely whiff. Okay, that's really bad. Okay, so I can still attack with Lumbering Hillock and get 2 Robo-Trick. What am I chumping with? Do I want to keep Verdant Sanctuary in hand? No, because I want to always hit lands. I think I always grab Temur range here because I do need to thin my deck. Yeah. So I can animate Lumbering Hillock. I can do it after playing something off Verdant Sanctuary actually, so I'll just do that. Yes, I could use one more red source. Okay, so animate Lumbering Hillock. Do I need to keep back 2 guys just to be safe? Yeah, I should keep back 2 guys just to be safe, so that means I'm leaving back small Rova. I mean, how much is this? I get 2 counters on each of these guys, which means attacking here will knock them down to 12. I need to get... I'm pretty sure it doesn't kill them, but I should just do some math just because. So 12, 8, 6, 26, okay. I'm like 1 up. I'm like 3 off killing them if I actually had this thing I need to have this turn. Oh, anyways, I'll just get my Robo swings in. They're down to 11 again. And yeah, I hope to top deck something next turn. I mean, every turn they can just play out Valdez, sack it to Urchin King, and then get a bunch of life again. But I will have Karakran available next turn. So I'm really hoping that happens. 28, 20, oh. The fact that that thing keeps going up is also a problem because they're going to be able to gain more life every turn off this thing. Actually, there was no reason to run out Verdant Sanctuary early because, I mean, I didn't have a land drop that turn, so there wasn't really any... I didn't really lose anything from running it out early, but I could have actually flashed this thing in, which might have like baited a discard spell. I still have a reasonable number of good top decks. So RFE is always a good top deck right now, especially when I have enough mana to play and replay and flash it back in the same turn. Oh, Ego. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, they flipped a land. That's fine. Or I mean, I guess I get poisoned, but that doesn't matter. That's just one more ways for them to gain life. Actually, do I want to chump with Lumbering Hillock instead of the other Rova? I mean, Rova is getting counters, so like, and I am 2 away from, well, if I end up chumping away Lumbering Hillock, then that, I think I do need to chump away the Rova, because at least the other Rova means that Lumbering Hillock, the Rova gives the Lumbering Hillock vigilance, basically. So, I guess I have to block like this. Okay, they are going to sack there. They're actually still dead to Karakran Swing. They're still dead to a Karakran Swing. And that, that is a possibility this turn, so I guess I hope to top deck that. Field Tender, actually, yeah, Field Tender is reasonable because now it lets me chump, or gives me a lot more chump blockers now. They could technically Spiraling Hatred to Field Tender, but that's probably not happening. So it should be safe to just run this guy out. How much do I care about life loss compared to just getting Wayfarer Shrine so I can get the token now? So yeah, basically question here is Mysterious Cataract or Wayfarer Shrine. How much does 1 life matter right now? I don't think my opponent's going for a Resolver plan, so I think Wait for Shrine is fine. Like, might as well get the tokens down now, rather than later on. In fact, I should get the tokens now because then I can use Robot to buff all of them. Okay, yeah. Let's see if they have Spiraling Hatred. Okay, they don't have Spiraling Hatred. They don't have Spiraling Hatred. So, yeah, let's get all the tokens out. Sure, I'll fetch my off colors just because. Or I guess they could be saving Spiraling Hatred for Lumbering Hillock, but I doubt that's what's happening here. Oh, that's weird. They take all of it. Yeah, they took all of it in the face, and yeah. So now I have a source of trumpers for Urchin King, which removes a lot of pressure from the rest of my deck to chump this thing every turn. I mean, I have to assume eventually I'm going to lose because my opponent just slams one of their planeswalkers that I can't answer. Or I mean, Kirkran. If I top deck Kirkran, then that also kind of ends the game here. Or they eventually top deck their hard removal for Rova, and then suddenly the JB train ended, and then I need to grind out a win with these guys against Urchin King. Lumbering Hillock is also 7-7 right now, which is not trivial. Eventually they're going to leave back Urchin King, and then basically I need to swing into something that has into a player that basically has 30 life above, in addition to whatever they have right now. I feel like if I could get an insane enough Druvadia swing turn, if I can get an insane enough Druvadia swing, that could be possible. Like, the Druvadia plus Rova means that each land is swinging as a 4-4. Except the Lumbering Hillock, which is swinging as an 8-8. Or I mean, it's like 3. No, it's still swinging as a 7-7 in that case. Did they finally find removal for Rova? That would kind of suck if that happens, because then that means that my train has ended. Or if they just play out Cecilius and bring back Infectious Ego, that would also be annoying for me. If they don't have removal for Field Tender, then I'm just going to keep generating these tokens, which can keep chump blocking. With Urchin King out, it means I need to connect with 50 damage every turn. Or I need to connect with 50 damage in one turn in order to win the game. And they might just eventually stop attacking with Urchin King to dissuade me from attacking. Because, yeah, then I can't attack with Rova anymore. Okay, they finally found removal for Rova. Sure. Did they also find removal for Field Tender? Nope, they're just passing. Alright, come on. Devon. It's actually, Devon's kind of useful here because I can use it to eat their creatures from graveyard, which prevents Cecilius from going nutso. I do want to preserve life now, so I guess I will be playing my fetch lands tapped. Especially since I'm not planning on swinging anytime soon anymore. I'm just waiting around to get my win cons again. And they might have another 5-for-6 session lined up onto Field Tender. I mean, that does feel like what's happening here. Actually, I could also keep Dovon's discard fodder, but I think having Dovon out does help me here, just as a life buffer, and also to prevent Cecilius from bringing back their guys. Yeah. So then, this also means I eventually run out of fetchables, which could be annoying to work with. Do they have a second 5-for-6 session onto... Like, if they 5-for-6 session onto Dovon, that does say something about their plays. If they probably just fight onto Field Tender. So I still have 4 1/1s to chump with until I need to find something else. And yeah, they can just bring back 5-for-6 session, and I can't... Now they have an ever-expanding board, and I can't do much about that, other than... well, something. Let me get the backside of this thing. It's not legendary, so yeah, I should... Well, they have enough copies of it where Dovon can't get rid of all the copies before they can cast all of them. And that's going to be a problem. Are they still not running out 5-for-6 session right now? Okay, Cecilius is definitely a problem. They probably bring back Infectious Ego, and then now they're drawing cards off my deck, and I don't have an answer for it because they got rid of my only copy of Earthbreaker. I mean, I guess the Druvadia swing turn could still win me here, or do stuff. Okay, they grabbed the forest. Sure. I mean, Sackbull would be a lot better right now as Grave Hate. I mean, the one's meant to be incidental Grave Hate anyway, so it's not that. Well, let's see if they swing here. If they don't swing, they're at 15. Okay, so like they can block. This thing can't gain lifelink without sacking this first. So they're a virtual, somewhere around 50 life, right? And they have maybe another 5-for-6 session or something like that. Oh, well, that's convenient. Do I fetch first? Because I'm going to run out of fetchables really quickly, or really soon. No, I keep one of them in case I top deck, in case I draw Drubatia here. I care cramp finally. A bit late because I don't think I can actually win with that just yet. So 1, 2, or how much am I working with here? 9. I'm definitely playing care cramp this turn. Okay, so I have 2 more Alexas that can get back Rova from graveyard. I think I should just focus on getting Rova from graveyard. Because Rova plus care cramp probably kills them. Like I think that's enough of a swing. Or no, it's awkward because I can't get, if Rova isn't out already, I can't make it activate, or I can't get counters onto the care crayons on the same turn that it happens. Well, I guess I always RFE here, right? Yeah, so then I have to tap 7 for that. I'll leave like one. No, I'll play out care crayon right now. They can't kill it easily. Yeah, they don't have any ways of destroying it, so I might as well just play it out. It's like I'm going to be playing it out anyways. Lumbering Hawk's not attacking this turn. I'll leave these guys untapped. RFE from graveyard. Okay, now I'm just drawing a bunch of lands. But that's fine. I will start playing out lands from Verdant Sanctuary. There has to be like a point where I have enough lands where Kirkran does just kill them. I'm not sure if we're there yet. Sure, I'll play more off-colors stuff. I have Dovan up, I guess, technically. If they want to Cecilius mine it on Dovan or something. Is there anything else I can do right now? Not really. Alright. Dovan being around at least prevents another Cecilius minus. Not that they're planning on doing one anyways, probably. I mean, they could like try to wipe my hand with Curse of the Drow and stuff. I don't think that matters too much. They can't attack with Ego because Recall Freon Aeon blocks it. Unless they have removal, but they might actually not have removal now because 1 card in hand. They already spent 3 of their 5%. They could still have Pithwell, Spelling Hatred. How many Pithwells do they? They run 2 Pithwell, 2 Spelling Hatred, so they still have 3 cards. They still have 2 cards in their deck that kill Recall Freon Aeons, plus whatever else they can find. But I do think like they're kind of out of removal by now. I mean, so am I, but I still have 3 Dravajas left in my deck. If Cecilius starts plussing, like, it's not actually that bad. They can't do too much with Cecilius pluses, because I have Verdant Sanctuary, so I can always just discard redundant lands from my hand. I should double check how much life my opponent's at. Or, I mean, virtual life my opponent's at. Yeah, almost 50, I guess. Please don't flip anything important. Oh dear. That's definitely not something I wanted to see my opponent flip. Can they win with my Drobatia? Well, no, they can't activate it because Ego only lets you cast it for any color. It doesn't actually let you activate abilities for any color. But it does mean I'm down 1 Drobatia, which could matter because that's less win cons I have left in the deck. Also, like, are they going to cast these 5 successions now? They've been not casting it for quite some time. They're just going to cast Drubadia. That's fine, it's just a creature. They can't really make much use out of it, actually. So that's good. It's just a 3/4 at this point. Oh, wait, no, they can't make red, so they can't activate this, so it's fine. They're making me discard. I will pitch 1 Wayfarer Shrine. Pay up, okay. I'll discard the other Wayfarer Shrine. I guess this makes stuff slightly worse for me if I top deck in Alexa or something. Okay, are they finally going to play the backside of Fight for Succession? No, they're hard casting Valdez. They're still not playing out the backside of Fight for Succession for some reason. I wonder if that means I should start trying to exile them. Oh, okay, they're... what? Nah, I should just get counters on this guy, because why not? Come on? That's not good. Can I afford to just keep waiting? Cecilius is still ticking up. They don't really have anything to do with Cecilius other than making me discard. They're also like kind of valid discard outlets. Also, Lumbering Hawk means I can actually block reasonably big things too. And I can activate Karakran to fetch things out of my deck. Yeah, I guess that's what I'll do. I'll use Karakran to thin my deck, which makes these fetch lands a lot more useless, but whatever. Okay, 14. Or 14 lands. Is 14 lands enough to get through Urchin King plus whatever's on board? Not really. Actually, if I can find some way of killing Drubatia, I can get into my own graveyard, at which point I can get back with Alexa. Not that that's going to happen or anything like that. Yeah, Cecilius is up to 4. I will pitch, or I should pitch Wayfair Shrine, but whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm probably never playing out these cards from hand anyways. Especially after fetching with Kirkran. If I get Alexa, do I want to get back Triumph Tributes first? Like, how many things does that kill? Let me check. Kills 6 things. So what, like they can sack 6 lands pretty good? No, they can't. Okay, so Urchin King probably sacks everything beforehand. So they're like 10 things. They have to sack 5 things. They can sack 5 lands pretty comfortably and still have this Urchin King out. But then at least the Triumph Tributes can attack every turn, which tries to raise Urchin King. I mean, at least if it forces my opponent to attack with Urchin King every turn. And Alexa probably... No, Alexa does not survive Cecilius. Oh, okay. What did I discard? I discarded... Okay, what am I looking at? Let me double check. Okay, so 12 things, they sack these 2, sack 5 things. Perform of sure, I guess that probably doesn't do too much. Anyways, I should just every turn use this. Get out cards from my deck. Do I need to worry about decking out in this game? Oops. Like I might have to do that. I might have to worry about that eventually. Get rid of the second Auric Soul Weaver. I mean, Drubaji. Sure, I'll Earthly Divination. I forgot, how many basics do I have left in my deck right now? I think it's about time I crack Mysterious Cataract just to make sure I don't end up... like, that actually could change Earthly Divination by a lot. Yeah, I'll crack it now then. So, I'm out of fetchables in deck, which means Kirkran's also not useful anymore. But, that means that Earthly Divination. Let's see what I flip. A Pale Weaver. Okay, well, I guess that's... do I get Rova, or do I get something else? I get Rova because then I sets up for Kirkran lethal next turn. Yeah, I think that's what I do. At least I'm pretty sure Rova plus Kirkran is always going to kill them. Right? Or I could grab Drubadia instead. So grab Drubadia, activate it twice, shoot 2 things. I mean, shoot 2 things. Yeah, I only get to shoot 2 things there. Or how much mana do I have here? Oh, I can definitely Drubadia on the same turn, but then do I have lethal if I do that? Okay, 14 guys. What, they have 4 guys, I have 14 guys, so 10 3/3s are getting through, so that's 30 damage. They have a virtual 49 life. No, Drubadia does not win the game. I mean, Rova probably sets up for lethal. They need to kill Alexa next turn. And Kirkran, I mean, Kirkran plus Rova is basically just as good as Drubadia. It actually doesn't change anything. I mean, Drubadia at least shoots down some stuff. If you do math, yeah. And they are tapped out, so like I just 33 plus 16, 49 life. If I Drubadia, I get to attack with all my lands plus these guys. All my lands is 14. What are they blocking? So they block recall plus 3 lands, so I have 11 lands connecting, so that's 11 times 3, and then plus these guys, so 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. Still nowhere near enough. Okay. I mean, Tyrant's the easy. Now I get Drubadia back because maybe that means Alexis survives 1 more turn. Yeah. Okay. I think I've made my decision, and then maybe that means I still get Rova out for next turn. Yeah. I'll go with that logic. And now point all of it at Cecilius. And yeah, pass the turn. Actually, I could have like could have budget and then swung with everything and then at least forced some blocks. It's May, okay, yeah. Because it's like it's indestructible, so I actually don't lose anything from doing that. Yeah, I definitely should have done that. Or at least I could have gotten them down pretty low, which sets up for like Rova plus oh, okay, yeah, I made a mistake. I should have played differently. Okay, fight for succession. Like, did I have enough? Yeah, I had enough to activate Druba. I made a mistake. Yeah, I should have swung with. I should have forced my opponent into some block, or at least forced my opponent down really low with Drubadia, and then set up for, and then did Rova plus Kirkran next turn. Well, I mean, I can still do that technically. Just have to remember to recall. I mean, I always play it, but second Drubadia. Sure. Okay, how much mana do I have left? That's enough to recall plus Drubadia. Yeah, sure, I'll do that. Okay, recall again. Verdant Sanctuary, which I guess will be discard fodder for later. I will plus Alexa just to make sure I have it available for next turn, and then... Okay, so... Verdant Sanctuary, I guess, out my last 2 Verdant Sanctuary cards. I mean, I can actually also just Yeah, plus Alexa here, get down Mysterious Cataract. Is this enough? Okay, so then activate Drubagia again. And I mean, I guess I just if I want to attack with any of the guys on the side, because like this is really scuffed. Do I care about Drubagia surviving past this turn? I am I worried about the crackback? Not really. Like I already have enough things on the back that can trump my opponent's stuff. I just need to make sure I don't attack with anything that would make really bad blocks. Okay, yeah, I'll just attack with all these guys. I guess like if I made a bad attack and I end up like losing the game after due to this, then I guess whatever. But like I think I have enough chump blockers where even if they have removal plus some other stuff, well no, like they have to block some number of these guys to not die, so I think I'm fine. Okay, they're going to block Drubagia. Going to block like Drubagia is basically useless after this because so they're going to block RFE. And yeah, I have another Drubagia in hand, so I can just do this again next turn, and I probably win from that. I definitely scuffed this because I could have Drubagia'd last turn and then Drubagia'd again this turn, and that probably killed them. I agree, yeah. I didn't really bother doing the math at all because I mean, like, yeah, look at this board state. I don't think this is a board state where math is for blockers, so yeah. I mean, I definitely played this pretty poorly. I definitely played this poorly because I definitely should have Drubagia last turn or did the Drubagia alt last turn because that forces some very uncomfortable blocks for my opponent. I could have used Drubagia the second chapter to blow up their two threes, and then that means I can swing 3 lands at Cecilius and it's guaranteed to die. 17 unblocked lands. Let me double check. It's actually yes, they're correct. Yep, 4 damage sack. Oh wait, I have to also worry about this thing growing from sacking at instant speed. Okay, 17 times 3, or 17 times 3, 51. Are they actually at 4 now? I mean, I stopped keeping track afterwards, but yeah, 51. Okay, so like 12 plus 39 is 50. Okay, yeah, that does seem correct. And okay, I think at this point, yeah, that also dies, and I get back on my lands for next turn. I mean, I guess like having to do multiple Drubagia alts to win is certainly something, but I mean, I'm not complaining too much. They are out of gas, so like 40. I can do Rova into Drubagia this turn if they don't kill Alexa. Or I can do Tyrant into Drubagia. They're just going to keep around Urgent King, so getting back Tyrant doesn't do anything here. Yeah, get back Rova. Okay, I can Drubagia alt and still float enough to Rova afterwards, right? How much mana do I have now? 20 mana to work with. Or no, technically this is so 19 mana to work with. Is 19 enough to do everything I wanted? Yes, it is, right? 19 is no, I can't Drubagia alt and also play out Rova after that. But I can Drubagia alt and then tap 2 lands I altered to Rova afterwards, which then untaps all the lands. And okay, so that like if my opponent can't disrupt that play, then I get to swing in with even more things next turn, and that probably wins. I mean, they're also looking at the Karakran right now. Okay, so 19 lands. Assuming Rova puts the counters onto them, so that's 76 damage swinging through, which I'm pretty sure Urchin King won't stop, right? Like they just don't have enough life to survive such a big swing. So let's see what the card in hand is. Actually, if the card in hand is removal spell that can hit Drubagia, then that will be a problem because then they prevent my Drubagia turn. I guess so then I have to go for the backup Rova plan. Yeah, I mean, still look doable. Parm Resurgence, not useful right now. I should just keep it in hand as discard fodder. Okay, so anyways, do I have any lands left in my deck at all? No, so Drubagia won't be pinging. Okay, so let's see if they have thing. Okay, so do I actually have that? No, I don't. I accidentally selected these guys. And this also doesn't count, right? So I have 13. Right, we have 13 right now to work with. Yeah. And Alexa minus to pitch Verdant Sanctuary and get back Rova. So use up all that mat. Actually, floating doesn't actually matter. Okay, yeah. That was such a long game one. I mean, I did win eventually, but that was certainly a game. Sport, what do I want? I want more ways to kill their big guys, and Bessie's Brutes, I still need one Bessie's Brute around just to make sure I can answer the other guys on curve in case. I cut Time Tributes because that card's always stuck in my hand. I cut one Crimheld, I think, because that's like the worst of my... No, I don't think so. I don't cut Rovas because Rovas, they can't easily remove Rova, so it's actually quite good in this matchup. Do I want Sackbow? No, Sackbow isn't. I don't think Sackbow's what I want to do here. I could cut one Verdant Sanctuary, but they can remove my Verdant Sanctuary, so like cutting them isn't as good. Yeah, I guess I do cut like one Crimheld. No, I think Bessie's Brood is probably the thing to cut here. It does mean I'm a bit light on ways to remove their guy, ways to remove their 3-drop on curve, but Bessie's Brood also dies to removals, and I really do not want my removal spell to also die to removal. This hand's pretty good. It's a lot less good if my opponent hand attacks the Primal Resurgence out of my hand, but it's still keepable. Like, it has 2 RFEs as Verdant Sanctuary, so in worst case scenario, I guess they hand attack Primal Resurgence, destroy Verdant Sanctuary on the turn it comes down, and then I don't draw any blue sources for a while. Like, that's really the way I lose this game. Well, they have to mulligan down to... No, they mulligan down to 6. Okay, they're going down to 5. Yeah, that's unfortunate for them. Let's see if they have the turn 1 hand attack on Primal. Oh wait, they had to go down to 4. Okay, that's really bad for them. Yeah, knowing that, do I actually care about... Like, if they name Primal, do I pitch something else? What's the worst 3-drop they could drop when they're at, like, only... Yeah, at this point, I'm pretty sure, like, they actually don't have enough to work with, so I will just assume that I can pretty safely do this. And if they drop down Auric Soulweaver and I lose due to that, then I guess I got too greedy. Yeah, I assume they passed the turn, so I'll just take my turn now. Oh, and that's... Yeah, cool. I can recall Forgotten Aeon on curve now because I have a blue source. And they can't do much to stop it with discard because I have 2 copies of recall. So, I mean, like, they could slam their Auric Soulweaver, but I'm fine if that happens because I get to do the turn 2 recall. Like, they exile second discard spell? Okay, sure. If they name Verdant Sanctuary, I'm actually... Yeah, I should just discard it. Because I have 2 recalls, and recalls are pretty good at finding lands. They're gonna just discard 1 RFE. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Do they have, like... Oh, double discard? Huh. Oh, that's annoying. Now we're both empty-handed, but at least I'm going into turn 3 with recall... Or going into turn 2 with recall Forgotten Aeons. I'll grab Blush Oasis. Or, oops, I need to untap there, but... Recall Forgotten Aeons, and... Do I run out Dovon afterwards? Ish. I guess worst case, they discard my Alexa, and I still have the... Yeah, sure. I guess I run it out, and if they remove it, then whatever, that's fine. Oh, wait, I don't have a Flourishing Crevasse anymore. Okay, I guess I have to lose some life now with the Rampant Summit, so hopefully that won't matter too much. Now that my opponent's empty-handed. Seems like they did not get what they needed. Earthly Divination... I can go Alexa Earthly Divination, and that's probably what I want to do here. Because then they can hit 3 drops. And I get to flip Field Tender. Okay, that's really good. Now, do I have... I did not play any lands this turn. Cool. Alright, they're just going to concede here because they're empty-handed, and yeah, okay. That's a pretty unfortunate ending for them. I mean, like, I am favored in this matchup, but when they go down to 4 cards, then I open with turn 2 RFE, yeah, then it just ends like that. But yeah, I guess I'm pretty happy that I did... I didn't realize we had this. What happens if you X here? Okay. But yeah, I guess I can't complain too much about... Okay, what was in my opponent's hand? They open... Okay, so they got 2 really unfortunate hands. They got 3 really unfortunate hands. That's the beats. And then, yeah, okay. In game 1... Game 1 definitely could have gone... Well, I mean, I don't think it could have gone any faster. Because, I mean, that was certainly a grind. Well, I think on their end, the main thing that... Okay, here. So here I was pretty far behind already. So then I ran out Field Tender. And then, yeah, Urchin King flipped. So here, I could have fetched Lumber Calac, but I decided not to because my opponent was probably holding Fight for Succession, which yeah, I did correctly guess. And then I fetched first in order to bait my opponent into using their removal onto field or use their Fight for Succession on field tender, right? Yeah, and that basically let me resolve Rova and then keep it around for several turns. Okay, top decking RFE there was also really good because otherwise I would have had to chump away my Rova. So I did get a few really lucky top decks in this game, and that I'm top decking RFEs when my hand was empty, and then yeah, this follow up where I get to double Rova and then RFE on support after that, and then that gave me a bunch of ways to chump. They were saving their Fight for Succession for quite some time. But also, like, my opponent was very reluctant to flashback Fight for Succession in those games, right? Where did they like not fight for? When did they actually fight for Succession afterwards? Okay, so like, yeah, they definitely needed some way of. They always need a creature on board so that they could sack the Urchin King to give it lifelink on the same turn. I guess that's why they were so reluctant to do that, because like at this point, like they wait, what did they do on this turn? They fight for they needed to fight for Succession, the Rova, and okay, yeah. So they were also kind of stuck on lands, and then eventually I got Drew Budget out, and I should have ulted it a turn earlier because where was that? Okay, so yeah, flip Alexa, which was really good because now I can actually start doing stuff again, and then got Drew Budget out, got the Drew Budget pings going. Definitely should have ulted Drew Budget this turn because I get a free swing with all these lands, and that forces my opponent into some blocks, and that does sort of lower the life total a bunch. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm at 1 anyway, so yeah. So that means I'm making it to the semifinals where I'm going to be facing Burn. Wonderful. What a wonderful matchup. I'll probably end up losing it, but if I do win, then that'd be really nice. But yeah, I'm already performing. I mean, I guess this deck is really powerful, and it's getting nerfed next month, so it's expected that's performing quite well. But yeah,